to the center of the court for a special announcement.
Hello, good afternoon. On behalf of Coach Baker's family and players, we're proud to recognize and celebrate an extraordinary milestone. Coach Baker has achieved his 74th victory as head coach of the Toppenish High School girls varsity basketball team, officially becoming the winningest coach in Toppenish girls basketball history. This remarkable accomplishment is a testament to his dedication, leadership, and unwavering support of his team and community. Coach Baker has devoted over 20 years to serving the Toppenish community through teaching, coaching, and volunteering. For 5 years, he's led the Toppenish girls basketball team as head coach, tirelessly transforming the program into the powerhouse it is today. His unwavering commitment and visionary leadership has propelled his team to remarkable achievements. Whether meticulously planning strategies, analyzing game film, or collaborating with coaches and players to design innovative plays, Coach Baker, his drive for excellence is evident in every detail. His passion for winning is matched only by his dedication to fostering success for his players both on and off the court. As a coach, teacher, and leader, Baker continues to inspire and elevate everyone around him. It is an honor to congratulate Coach Baker on being the winningest coach in Toppenish girls basketball history. Thank you for all that you've done to promote excellence and hard work in our Toppenish girls program. Your commitment and passion is like no other. Thank you for all that you do.
Now allow me to read the sportsmanship creed. The CWAC encourages and promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, parents, and spectators. We strive to create a competitive yet positive atmosphere where everyone feels welcome. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponents and the officials. As CWAC student athletes, we commit to fair play, responsibility, and respect. We strongly encourage you to do the same. This is the CWAC Conference of Champions. We don't have a band tonight, so I guess we're ready to start, announce the starters for the game, beginning with our Grandview, the visiting Grandview Hounds. Number 10, Mia Lopez. Number 21, Angel Torres. Number 22, Bailey Ham. Number 31, Leila Rodriguez. Number 32, Jenna Garza. And for the Wildcats, number 5, Kira Hurley. Number 10, Tatiana Camacho. Number 12, Samaya Baker. Number 21, Natalie Norman. And number 22, Vivi Hernandez. Head coach for the Greyhounds, Peyton Bonney, and the head coach, as you well know, Brad Baker. Your officials for this game, referee tonight, Mr. Dick Brown, assisted by Mr. Sal Kobar and Mr. Todd George Stiff.
All right, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you may be joining us. This is the THS Digital Media Network. The first game of this brand new year, 2025. My, oh my, what it has been. Of course, while we were away for practically the last 3 weeks before the beginning of this new year, the girls went on a bit of a trip over on the west side, facing off a couple of big schools, 3A, 4A schools up there. Managed to go, I believe, 2-1. Only suffered one loss, but nonetheless a great showing against bigger schools. And here we go in one of the biggest games of this season. girls getting started. One of the things to keep in mind, this game is huge for the Lady Wildcats there as Tatiana Camacho gets started with her first bucket. It's interesting to see this game. It's going to possibly decide 4th, 5th place standing. Great block there by Tatiana Camacho. And immediately on the other side, can't finish at the rim. Let's see if the Lady Greyhounds, who have so far seen some decent games from them. Of course, they're going to fight hard to stay here in the middle of the standings. 5th place, 5 teams. Top 6 teams at the end of the regular season go to the postseason. For the most part, most teams have played their non-league games. And another great deflection there from Camacho. Viviana Hernandez on the other side and good for 2. Viviana Hernandez, she's really stepped up this season and shown that she can be the leading scorer of the squad. No doubt in her ability. She's able to get to the rim and able to create some good shots, make some plays offensively. Shot no good there as the Wildcat defense continues to rage. Lady Wildcats are great at applying defensive pressure, great at trying to cause turnovers. It's just a matter of, can they finish offensively? That is rather important. Yeah, you can prevent the other team from scoring, but you yourself, remember, you got to have one more point than your opponent in order to win, at the very least. 3-pointer there from the Lady Greyhounds. Shot no good. Adelaide Norman able to pick up the loose ball. And now Samaya Baker. Samaya Baker, a little bit of a spark when she's out there. Camacho trying to post up underneath, but a foul going to be called on the floor first.
Foul charge number 21, Angel Torres.
Let's see. Inbounded to Camacho. Bit of a tough shot defensively. Great catch there by the Lady Greyhounds, and immediately trying to go to the basket and fouled Maya Lopez.
Foul charge number 12, Samaya Baker.
So Samaya Baker, that one is assessed to her. And Lopez is at the free throw line, an opportunity to put some points here for the Greyhounds. From the free throw line, Neil Lopez getting the first point for the Lady Greyhounds. Of course, the Lady Wildcats last night traveling down to Prosser, over at Prosser High School. Of course, the top 2 teams in the CWAC, the Ellensburg Bulldogs and the Prosser Lady Mustangs. And it's going to be tough going there at the top of the CWAC here this season. Trying to move the ball in the middle. Opportunity for a jumper and good. And immediately on the other side. And jumper there, good by Tatiana Camacho. Squeezing. And first 3-pointer there for the Lady Greyhounds. Bailey Francine Ham. First 3-pointer. And all tied up here. Adelaide Norman with the shot. Now Baker. That three-pointer looks like it was partially deflected. Running, cutting to the basket. Missing it, but cleaned up there by Torres. Lady Wildcats trying to settle down. A bit of a different opponent compared to who they faced off against last night. Viviana Hernandez to the basket, can't finish. And immediately, the Greyhounds trying to speed things up. Three-pointer off there by Layla Rodriguez. Only one three-pointer made so far, and miscommunication there between Samaya Baker and at least a couple of Lady Wildcats. Adeline Norman and Viviana Hernandez were there in the area. Limiting mistakes. It's going to be the key here. Lady Wildcat defense definitely trying to smother, trying to prevent any good shot. Trying to contest everything, and that ball will be deflected out of bounds. 3:03 remaining here, first quarter. Stepping up, shot no good. Tatiana Camacho able to save it. Hurley looking to head over to Samaya Baker. She decides to take it. Off the back iron, no good. And the Lady Greyhounds immediately trying to move. And turnover there by the Greyhounds. Couldn't keep the feet in bounds. And the Lady Wildcats get a bit of a break there. The speed and the defensive-minded Lady Wildcats, and there we go. Viviana Hernandez. And that's an opportunity for a three-point play. So far, seeing some good things out there and converting on that one. 1-point lead. Finding hard to get to the rim. And Layla Rodriguez will step up to the free throw line.
Foul charge to the Wildcats. Number 21, Adelaide Norman.
And first substitution of the afternoon as Julia Alanda is going to check in. There's a lot of speed on the floor right now. 3-point no good. Tatiana Camacho able to grab the rebound. And now Hernandez is going to try to take it. Cools things off. And Hernandez is going to be forced to go back to center court and reset. Hernandez, little runner, and she's fouled. Free throws coming up.
Foul charge, Jenna Garza.
Jenna Garza, young freshman. First free throws up and good by Hernandez. That one is also up and good. Perfect from the free throw line here so far tonight. Lady Greyhounds from the corner. And Madison Thomas from downtown. Hernandez loses the ball and off of the foot of Mia Lopez. And a substitution coming in for the Lady Wildcats. Audrey Herrera, first time out on the floor. Hernandez, that ball tipped. Landa. Samaya Baker going to have to try to put something up. And I believe a foul is going to be called on the ground force, and indeed it is. Boy, that was a really close one. Samaya Baker essentially using that last half second to put up an attempt.
Foul charge number 32.
And that was enough to warrant a foul. And save possession here for the Lady Wildcats. Fresh shot clock. Hernandez. And Alana. And good and trustworthy Viviana Hernandez. As she is taking command here in terms of scoring for the Lady Wildcats. Personal foul there as Bailey Ham was driving to the rim and fouled. And Audrey Herrera's first foul of the game. Mia Lopez at the free throw line. First one's up and good. Second one also good. Trying to keep pace with the Wildcats. All tied up 13 apiece. Geraldine Ramirez. Camacho left open, and it's simple but true finish. Make that 6 for Camacho. Hernandez and Camacho, the only ones that have scored for the Lady Wildcats so far in the first quarter. 8 seconds remaining, and good putback by Bailey Ham. And the Wildcats run out of time there. All tied up after 1 quarter of play. This is the THS Digital Media Network. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and never miss out on another THS Digital Media event. We'll be back after this. And welcome back after the timeout. Beginning in the second quarter, things all tied up. Both teams want to start off in a similar fashion. Quick, fast, and aggressive on defense. Three-pointer from the corner from the Greyhounds, no good, and that is going to be out of bounds. The Wildcats looking to get this second quarter started in the correct fashion with some points. All the way to Ramirez, left wing. Landa thought about it, has to exit, ball deflected. Now the Greyhounds trying to make up ground. Left wing, left corner. Jumps aside to go for the shot, no good. And out of bounds there as Ramirez trying to make a play and save possession. Lopez couldn't get that shot off. Tatiana Camacho collects the board. Herrera to Ramirez. Shot a little wild. Greyhounds coming down with it. Lopez having a stop. Almost lost control there. Lady Greyhounds need to relax a little bit, let things develop. Ten seconds remaining on that shot clock. They're going to have to get something going. And good for two. Layla Rodriguez. Landa, right wing. Trying to get down to the right low block, and that one is deflected out of bounds. Coming back into the contest and onto the floor is Samaya Baker. Lady Wildcats find themselves down by 2. Trying to get back into the groove of things. 3 seconds remaining right there. Baker might have to take the shot. They're going to run out, and that's going to be another turnover. You know, it's pretty interesting to see how both these teams are playing right now. They want to get fast, want to be fast to the basket. If you have an outside shot, take it. Other than that, after everything is said and done, get back on defense. Make some plays. They're going to work there. Rodriguez again. Landa finds Baker. Double covered. And Baker with an open 3 off the mark. Camacho almost had it. Foul.
Foul charge to the Wildcats, number 10, Tatiana Camacho.
So Camacho was charged with that. Olivia Escamilla coming in, along with Kira Hurley. Lopez slowly making her way down the floor. Madison Thomas dragging that pivot foot. And a turnover there by the Grandview Greyhounds. Boy, both these teams seem somewhat similar. Speed, and willingness to try to get to the basket, create something, and then just defensively, just letting their presence be felt. Audrey Herrera was fouled before getting into her post move.
Grandview foul, number 42, Madison Thomas.
Angel Torres coming in for the Lady Greyhounds. Hernandez to Hurley, and she takes the three. Kira Hurley is definitely capable of taking those shots. Look for her to take some more of those. Samaya Baker able to get a hold of the loose ball. Escamilla left alone. She takes the three. It's good for her first bucket of the night. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining, midway through this second quarter. Hurley being posted up, can't finish the shot there. It's coming out of Baker. Asking for Hernandez in between the circles, over to the left wing. Herrera, right wing, Escamilla. Back to Hurley, 6 seconds remaining. Someone's gonna have to take a shot. Baker, off the mark. Escamilla collects it, oh no! I think Escamilla was looking for Samaya Baker to cut right behind her. That was an unfortunate error. Escamilla with the chance, almost all alone, but unable to see it as the traffic is high. Baker having a hard time. Way to the other side of the floor, Hurley. Hernandez, Herrera, left open, can't finish. Ball still on the ground, and a foul going to be called first. And a sideline warning on the Grandview Greyhounds after the foul. Sideline warning on the Grandview Greyhound bench. Perhaps getting a little frustrated of some of those calls.
Pushing foul was charged to the Wildcats number 22, Vivian Hernandez.
So Viviana Hernandez was assessed that personal. And a sideline warning issued to the Grandview bench. And seeing as how close this game has been for the first quarter and a half, you might want to tone it down just a little bit. Last thing you want to do is lose a game by a point or two, knowing that a technical foul may have been the difference. Left wide open. And Maya Benitez with her first bucket, all tied up once again. Hernandez, Escamilla, to Herrera. Squares up with a jumper. Hernandez in the traffic. Baker having a fight for it. Hurley, jumper from her, couldn't get it. Herrera fighting for it, and possession will remain with the Lady Wildcats. Madison Thomas checking back in for the Greyhounds. Herrera, the Baker, now Hernandez. Bringing the right block, and pivot foot moved a little bit, turnover. Jada Ramirez and Tatiana Camacho checking back in. Under 2 minutes remaining. Underneath, back in between the circles, stops at top of the key and nails that one. Rodriguez with 8 here in the first half. Swings to Baker. You gotta avoid the middle. That's where the Wildcats have had their most trouble this first part of the season, is throwing it into deep traffic. And 3, Ramirez. Wildcats with the 1-point lead now. Less than a minute remaining. In the middle of traffic. Lady Greyhounds finding difficulty. Falling backwards, couldn't get the shot to go. Escamilla to Baker. Hurley turns around, jumper no good. Camacho with the rebound. Ramirez with another three. That one comes up short. And 15 seconds remaining. If you're the Lady Greyhounds right now, you want to have last shot. 6 seconds remaining. They might run out of time. They got a free shot right there. Jumper off the mark, no good. And a foul finding for position and possession.
Foul charge to Wildcats, number 10, Tatiana Camacho.
So Tatiana Camacho with her second personal. And she's going to take a seat. 0.3 seconds remaining. Does not count. So 0.3 seconds, and looks like the bench is asking about it, but there is no shot. All right, folks, halftime. Lady Wildcats find themselves up by 1 by the slimmest of margins, 24-23 over the Grandview Lady Greyhounds. This is the THS Digital Media Network. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and never miss out on another THS Digital Media event. Take a break, be back. Halftime report and more coming up after this. And halftime here in THS Digital Media Network. Toppenish Lady Wildcats find themselves up by a slim margin, 1.24 to 23. Let's take a look inside the scoring statistics here for the first half. First for the Toppenish Lady Wildcats, they were led by the 9 points from Vivi Hernandez, and then 6 points from Tati Camacho, 3 from Kira Hurley, 3 from Olivia Escamilla, and 3 from Jada Ramirez. Their total 24 points here at halftime. On the other side, led by the 8 points from Leila Rodriguez for the Grandview Lady Greyhounds, followed closely there by 5 from Bailey Ham, 3 from Nia Lopez, and then 3 from Madison Thomas, and then 2 apiece from Amaya Benitez and Angel Torres. Their total 23 points. Tony D. Dominguez alongside the THS Digital Media crew here for halftime. Now, what did you happen to see there in the first half as a team? What are some problems that you saw, and what's one thing you think this team needs to do in order to come out with a win in this ever so important game here tonight?
So essentially what I envision, looking at this first half is that the Toppenish Lady Wildcats, they have it. They're looking around, they're making sure that they see their teammates, but the biggest thing that it boils down to is not only communication, but positioning. More times than not, there are a lot of spots where someone could potentially be that could lead to a great game, right? And as we saw earlier in the game, they passed it to where they thought someone was, but they ended up being kind of tangled in with Grandview, and it ultimately led to a turnover because it was passed out of bounds. And it's great that they're, not really being so much as selfish and, actually looking out for their teammates, but they really do need to, kind of tie it all in with great communication. And maybe we'll see a lot more lightning fast passes as we saw in the last Homegirls basketball game that we broadcasted.
Okay. And then Viviana Hernandez, she's been doing great, leading all scorers here for the Toppenish Lady Wildcats. What do you think she can do? And, obviously she's the leader of this team, but one more, what little thing do you think she will need to do in order to take this game to a win?
Just probably give better communication to her teammates, and basically she's good on her feet and passing the ball, but she's a little bit lacking about communication towards the ball. Even though she wants to pass the ball where she wanted to be, but it gets jammed into the Lady Greyhounds. That's what mostly could bring to a good game for Viviana.
Viviana Hernandez taking advantage of her opportunities on the floor here as we are moments away from the beginning of the second quarter. Antonio Tony D. Dominguez alongside the THS Digital Media crew bringing to you the first home game of the 2025 New Year. Happy New Year, happy holidays to all of those out there. And we'd like to thank you for joining us from wherever you may be at. Hurley attacking left corner, has a little bit of a free release, can't finish at the rim. Shot by Lopez and gets a 3 to go. Mia Lopez, a very capable scorer for the Lady Greyhounds, was limited to just 3 in the first half. Looking to turn things into a positive after coming back from the locker room. Tatiana Camacho could not finish on the other end of the floor. Wildcats quickly attacking Norman with the deflection right out of the hands of Hurley. Norman takes the 3 herself. And that one will go out of bounds off of the Lady Wildcats. Running high pace, up and down. These teams both similar in style. In terms of defense, in terms of the offensive philosophy. Attacking and gets 2 to go, Rodriguez. Now with 10. Ball stolen away again. Layla Rodriguez. Look at the three. That one's no good. Can't collect that one. Tatiana Camacho on Baker. Saves it inbounds. Ball right into the hands of Viviana Hernandez. Lady Wildcats preventing anything bad from happening there. Adeline Norman with the three. Hurley collects the board to Hernandez. She goes up. Free throws coming up.
Foul charge number 21, Angel Torres.
Angel Torres, second personal. Viviana Hernandez still perfect from the free throw line so far here tonight. Many a times the Lady Wildcats have struggled. And so far, Viviana Hernandez, the only one to actually get to the free throw line in this contest. And keeps things perfect. 2 out of 2 on that exchange. Lady Greyhounds helping to get back into scoring position as they find themselves up by 2. And jumper good from Thomas. Norman, Baker, and Hernandez trying to break this press. Baker with the 3 and lines it up for it's going. Samaya Baker with her first points of the contest and a quick timeout on the floor. Take one as well here, THS Digital Media Network. And welcome back after the timeout called by the Lady Wildcats. They find themselves down by 2. 5:24 remaining here in the third quarter. As the Greyhounds are hoping to jumpstart second half. Ball bounced around. Hernandez picking it up. I believe, let's see what's going to be called. Yes, it is going to be against
Grandview foul number 42, Madison
the
Thomas.
Lady Greyhounds. Madison Thomas with her second personal. Hernandez in the middle of the Hurley and cutting through. Camacho couldn't finish. Trying to go back up, and boy, she is fouled hard.
Foul charge number 22, Lady.
Tatiana Camacho. First time at the free throw line, she makes her first one. And there it goes. Perfect on that exchange. You know, and once we're as long as we're talking about right now, it may come down to free throws. So far, perfect from the line for the Wildcats. Mia Lopez. And gets the bucket to go from Layla Rodriguez. 12 points, leading all scorers. Tatiana Camacho able to recover the loose ball. Viviana Hernandez back to Norman. Ball tipped. And when we're talking about just forcing passes into high traffic areas, you need to limit those mistakes, especially at this part of the game. Open look, Lopez 3. And just like that, 9 points for Mia Lopez, second 3 of the night. Hernandez to Norman, and now back to Baker in between the circles. To Viviana Hernandez, she steps up, takes the 3, gets it to fall. First 3-pointer for Viviana Hernandez. Already with 10+ points here tonight. And that one out of bounds. Off of Tatiana Camacho, Layla Rodriguez. And a foul there. Mia Lopez made a decision to drive to the basket. She was fouled, but now an opportunity for some free throws. First one's up and good, 10 points for Lopez. And just like that. 3 points in the first half. And 7 points. 8 points, excuse me, in the second. Timeout on the floor by the Grandview Greyhounds. We'll take one as well here at the THS Digital Media Network. And welcome back here, THS Digital Media. Antonio Tony D. Dominguez alongside the THS Digital Media crew here in this tight contest. The Lady Wildcats find themselves down by 3 midway through the third quarter. Viviana Hernandez, no dribble. Baker, 3. Samaya Baker's 6 points. 2 3-pointers. That's very effective to keep you in the game. Madison Thomas responds with a jumper of her own. They find themselves up by 2. To Camacho, and a foul there by Jenna Garza.
Foul charge to the Greyhounds, number 32, Jenna Garza.
Norman, now Hernandez. Samaya Baker with another one. Third three of the night. Samaya Baker. 6 points to open up the second half. They find themselves up by 1. Back and forth we go with the lead changes. Jumper falling back, couldn't get that one to fall. Camacho collects the board. Finds Hernandez. Camacho back out to Hurley. Hernandez back to Baker. Gonna reset. Eight seconds remaining, almost trapped. Long three from Camacho. Off the front iron though. Juliana Hernandez couldn't clean it up. And the foul on the ground. Hernandez with her second personal of the night. And carrying, dribbling or violation. And substitution time coming in. Olivia Escamilla and Audrey Herrera. Back out onto the floor, 44.7 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Baker, three, no good. Ball is loose, Herrera picks it up. Fresh shot clock, Herrera almost didn't have a handle on it, takes it, stops dribble, having a reset. You just gotta calm down. There's no need to force or rush anything, more than enough time. Escamilla has to bring it around. Oh no! Herrera able to recollect. Hurley, three. Couldn't get that one to fall, and that's gonna be the end of the third quarter. Lady Wildcats find themselves up by 1 in this close contest to stay in the hunt in the CWAC standings. This is the THS Digital Media Network. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow and never miss out on another THS Digital Media event. We'll be back for the start of the fourth and final quarter. Welcome back, fourth and final quarter. Both these teams in the middle of the pack in the CWAC. Fighting for a fourth, fifth seed. Ball up and under, no good. And that ball will be out of bounds. Last touched by Norman. Chance here for Garza to inbound. Rodriguez, a little teardrop, couldn't get that one to fall. And Olivia Escamilla. Bringing them all down. Herrera left open to the basket, couldn't finish. Norman cleans it up, can't finish either. Rodriguez launches three. 15 points for Layla Rodriguez here tonight. And the Grandview Lady Greyhounds find themselves up by 2. Baker responds with the 3 of her own. 12 points, all of them from downtown. 1 point lead now for the Lady Wildcats. And a foul on the ground. So it looks like a scoreboard issue.
Foul charge number 23, Olivia Escamilla.
So things will get reset. Rodriguez couldn't finish there at the rim. Effective shooting, effective defense, one thing that has this game going. And a foul down on the low block. Substitution coming in.
Foul charge to the Greyhounds, number 42, Madison Thomas.
And Thomas with her 3rd personal. Lissalanda left open, 3 off the mark. Herrera able to regain and out of bounds. Could not control it. One-point lead it remains for the Wildcats. Baker trying to work on that. Lopez puts up a shot and gets it a go. Leo Lopez on that bucket. Escamilla sending it into traffic right there. Very dangerous pass. 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock. The Lady Wildcats are going to have to get moving. Landa, Baker, Herrera gets it to go. Right at the last second. 1 point lead it remains for the Wildcats. Camacho steals it. Working her way through. Herrera. Ball still on the ground. Finally, the Grandview Greyhounds are able to collect it. Lopez pushing through and offensive foul against the Greyhounds.
Greyhound foul number 31, Rodriguez.
Viviana Hernandez back onto the floor for the Wildcats. Camacho. And his reverse layup. And Viviana Hernandez leading all scorers here tonight. 16 points. And a foul on the Wildcats.
Foul charge number 10, Tatiana Camacho.
So an offsetting foul.
21 in Grandview. Angel Torres and an additional foul charge to number 10 of the Wildcats. Tatiana.
So both the players discussing there, like, they don't really know what that foul was about. They're both laughing about it down on the floor. They're like, what? What are you talking about? You can see it down there. And so I believe they're checking to see, make sure the fouls are correct. So Tatiana Camacho, she's going to have to come out after that quick pickup of a foul, double foul. It's going to force Hurley to come in. So the officials discussing just what's supposed to happen after a double foul is assessed. I think they got it together now. Back inbounds, Rodriguez. And another foul there. This one's going to be assessed on Hurley. I believe it's going to be her third. And immediately left open, good for two. Bailey Ham. Herrera couldn't hang on to the pass. Rodriguez and a foul from behind. I'm not sure that was a foul from the way it looked like up here. It seems like she grazed the ball more than anything. And this is going to set up Rodriguez with a free throw. Andre Herrera's going to take his seat as Camacho is playing out there on the floor with 4 personal fouls. And that one's in too. Viviana Hernandez now tasked with bringing the ball down. Going to Landa. 1-point lead for the Lady Greyhounds. The Wildcats looking to get a lead back. Camacho couldn't get that jumper to go. This game is going to come down to the last second. Rodriguez cutting, couldn't finish at the rim. Sending it up ahead, Hernandez. And the shot doesn't count, the foul is on the ground first. Angel Torres picks up a personal, and that's her 4th. Madison Thomas back out there. Get it back in bounds. Timeout call on the floor by the Wildcats. 30-second timeout. Be back here, THS Digital Media Network, after this. And welcome back after the timeout by the Lady Wildcats trying to regroup. They find themselves down by 1, needing to collect some points here. Macho underneath and foul.
Foul charge number 42, Madison Thomas.
And Thomas with her 4th. Macho first free throw, no good. First miss of this evening. Can't get the second one. Left open, Rodriguez, 3. Off the mark and a foul there by the Greyhounds. They lead Camacho to the free throw line.
And the Greyhound foul, charge number 22, Bailey Ham.
Free throw no good there by Camacho. One out of 2. All tied up, 48 apiece. Coming up on the 2 minutes. Rodriguez takes it to the hole, ball fouled.
No contact.
Foul charge to Wildcats number 22, Vivi Hernandez.
So Viviana Hernandez has assessed her 3rd. 2 minutes, 12 seconds remaining. First free throw's up and good. Second one also. Perfect exchange there. Coming up on under 2 minutes. Curley left open, scores 2. And that's what can happen when you're a player like Viviana Hernandez and you commit to the drive. You follow your teammate, and Mia Lopez with the bucket of her own on the other side. She just drove that baseline. She had an opportunity and took it. Hernandez can't complete. Norman steals it away. Norman's had somewhat of a quiet game here tonight, but still capable of doing something. Baker, 3, off the mark. Timeout by the Grandview Lady Greyhounds. 52-50. Lady Wildcats find themselves down by 2. Minute 11 remaining. These teams fighting for middle of the pack positioning in the CWAC. Top 6 teams get a chance at the district tournament at the end of the regular season. If you look at the top of the CWAC standings, of course the Ellensburg Lady Bulldogs And the Prosper Lady Mustangs standing right there with them. And the Sealand Lady Vikings doing some great things this season as well. In that third spot. You know, who's in that fourth, fifth, and then possibly sixth? So here we go to try to finish off this contest. Rodriguez couldn't get the shot to go. Camacho. And immediately with another timeout on the other end by the Wildcats. 58.6 seconds remaining. Full timeout. Fourth, fifth, sixth. 6 teams go to the district tournament. That caveat being that 5th and 6th seed are playing basically for a play-in game. So it's going to be interesting to see where and which of these teams is going to be where by the time it's all said and done. So 58.6 seconds. If you're the Wildcats, you kind of want to take up as much time as you can. Nonetheless, there's going to be time left for the Lady Greyhounds to get one back. And Hurley with her jumper right there, 7 points for her. And Camacho blocking that one away. And Olivia Escamilla is going to check in for Samaya Baker. Mia Lopez on Escamilla. Norman Rodriguez misses and Norman grabs the board. And a timeout there. 25 seconds remaining. Wildcats. Samaya Baker is going to come back in. Well, you want to take this strategy. I mean, there's a 1 second differential between shot clock and game clock. You want to have it. We'll see. Last thing you want to do is commit a turnover and give the Lady Greyhounds a fast break opportunity to score and perhaps win this game. Both teams needing this one to stay right in the hunt and in the fight for the middle of the CWAC. Seal Vikings, Lady Greyhounds, top of this Lady Wildcats here as well. Probably behind them, afraid the Lady Tigers. West Valley Lady Red Devils, fellow Lady Huskies, and the Quincy Lady Jackrabbits near the bottom of the CWAC this season. So here we go. Communication going to become ever so important in this final possession. If you're the Greyhounds, you got to be careful. You don't want to foul. You got to play straight up defense. For all of it. Hernandez, Baker, 3. Oh, just off the mark. Hurley. One last one, in and out, and then this game has gone to overtime. Overtime, overtime, overtime. We knew it was going to come down to the last second, and this last second has turned into an extra 4 minutes. We're going to take a quick timeout, prepare for overtime here on the THS Digital Media Network. Oh, what a game we have for you here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and never miss out on another THS Digital Media event. We'll be back for overtime after this. And welcome back here, THS Digital Media Network. Antonio Tony D. Dominguez alongside the THS Digital Media crew. Overtime basketball, and here we go. Possession going to the Greyhounds first, and that was a foul. Wow. You know, that was very interesting. It's been some very slim calls here tonight. That's all I'll be able to say. First free throw is good. Second one. That one's off the mark. Fighting for it. Baker able to handle it. Norman, and then back to Viviana Hernandez. 1 point lead it remains for the Grandview Greyhounds. Through the hands of Baker, able to recover. Needs to make a play. Norman turning around. Shot that one short. Camacho tries to save it. And a foul there by Camacho, trying to poke that ball out. I believe that is going to be the end of the night for Tatiana Camacho. She finishes the night with 9 points. Audrey Herrera will be coming in place. Lopez at the free throw line. Second one still to come. One out of two. 2 point lead now for the Lady Greyhounds. Hernandez to Herrera. Norman working that left wing. Hurley sends it back out. Hernandez with 3 of her own. Off the mark. Two minutes, 45 seconds remaining. Rodriguez turns the corner and scores for 2. 4 point lead now for the Grandview Lady Greyhounds. We're going to take a full timeout, and so will we. THS Digital Media Network back after this. Back to action after the timeout on the floor. Coming up on 2:30 remaining here in the first overtime. Ball stolen away. Lady Greyhounds did a great job of making the play there defensively. Time is certainly not on the Lady Wildcats side right now. They find themselves down by 2 possessions. The officials discussing on who last touched it. Like they saw the deflection in with a minute 56 remaining. Still some time, but plays have to be made. Lopez had to put up a shot there. Hernandez gets it. Viviana Hernandez now with the chance to cut this lead down to 1. No good. Wildcats find themselves down by 2 regardless. No help. Free throw, layup to the ground. And a foul assessed.
Wildcat foul number 12, Samaya Baker.
So Baker is going to pick up her second personal. Minute 16 remaining. Lopez at the free throw line. This is the first one. This is when, if you're tired, if you're fatigued, it starts to show at the free throw line. One possession lead regardless. We don't need all of it right now. Hernandez with the 3. And this game is tied up once again, a minute 2 seconds remaining. We'll stick around here. Back and forth. And can it be possible? Could it be possible? Another overtime maybe on the horizon? Hard now to see. Nonetheless, all tied up, 57 apiece. Here in this ever important league contest. to keep up pace in the middle of the pack of the CWAC. As we mentioned at the top of the show standings, the Ellensburg Lady Bulldogs, of course, the #1 ladies team in the state at the 2A level. Followed right behind them, the Prosser Lady Mustangs. Underneath them, the Sela Lady Vikings having a great season. And it comes between 4th and 5th place teams. Grandview Lady Greyhounds and the Toppers Lady Wildcats right in there. But the East Valley Lady Red Devils right there too. 57 apiece. So here we go. And that ball will be deflected out of bounds. Off with the Lady Wildcats. Julissa Landa's gonna check in. There is speed on the floor right now. Olivia Escamilla, Julissa Landa. It's stolen away by Hernandez. Landa, Hurley couldn't contain a ball. And that one is out of bounds off of Hurley. They had an opportunity there. Kira Hurley was left all alone, and that pass could have been served up a little bit better. An opportunity to get some points, and right now, immediately had to get back on defense. Middle of the floor. Here as the Lady Greyhounds are trying to contain this press, trying to break it. Hurley, Lopez, Thomas, 3, gets it to go. And the Lady Wildcats are once again down by 3. So once again, folks, we'll stick right here with you. This first overtime almost feels like we're on the cusp of another one. Another overtime here momentarily, but we're gonna see what happens. So much on the line for positioning in the middle of the CWAC standings, 4th, 5th place. 6 teams will make up the district tournament this season. The 5th and the 6th seed will have a play-in game. And so we're gonna get ready here. Do you really need a 3? You could get away with just focusing on trying to get to the hole, perhaps draw a foul, but you gotta be quick. And a foul there. And they keep going to Hurley, they keep going to the middle of the lane, inside the key. But it's been nothing but traffic in there all game long. And right now, Hurley to keep this team alive. First free throw's off the mark. Hurley with 7 points here tonight. Second one no good either. And timeout called by the Greyhounds. So the Lady Greyhounds have possession. And they were able to get the timeout called in time. 15.8 seconds remaining. And right now, all the Grandview Lady Greyhounds have to do is they just got to inbound the ball, protect it. And maybe the Lady Wildcats are going to play the foul game, try to see if they get themselves an extra possession. So after the timeout, it'll be Lady Greyhounds inbounding. So right in front of the Wildcat bench. Rodriguez trying to keep up with Escamilla. Escamilla right there in a foul. So that foul will be assessed, I believe, to
Foul was charged to the Wildcats, Jada Ramirez.
so that's going to give Rodriguez more opportunities at the free throw line. First one is good, and leading by 4. You pretty much put this game away. One more for insurance. And the Grandview Lady Greyhounds are going to remain right there in the thick of it, in the CWAC standings, in the middle of the pack. Norman with the 3 late, and that's going to be the end of this contest. Grandview Greyhounds win one of the most important games of the season, and they will keep pace right there in the heart of the CWAC standings and in the middle of the pack. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this contest. Tight one, final score 62-57. Lady Wildcats come up short. Coming up next, boys are in action. Doubleheader action here on the THS Digital Media Network. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and never miss out on another THS Digital Media event. Take a break, be back after this.